again, so record-wise, we have The Name is Important at 0 and 1, and then we have Pokemon Spice Girls at 1, 2. So this is the last match of the season, so this is going to determine the overall standing for the season before we move into Season 2. Okay, so let's get these draft links started. Once again, Cherry League has shifted to using Top Drafter. The way it feeds in and handles its data is a little bit more efficient than a little bit more efficient than the way Hero Drafter works. So we're just waiting for Spice Girls to get in their last player. Just checking to see if Spice Girls' 5th person's coming in. Technically, they still have 10 minutes before they even start the actual timer, so we'll just hang out for a few minutes as they wait, or as we wait for their 5th member. But no, that last match. Let's see if we can go in. If I can show you guys, it should be up on Twitch now. Well, we're
check this out.
But no, as we wait. Apparently there's some friendly competition between the teams already. Well, let's see in the meanwhile if we can get back to some of the clutch plays of the last match. I don't know if that's gonna work. Nah, let's forget about it. Still slightly technologically impaired. Occasionally. No, overall, really good match. And once again, one of the side effects of not having a co-caster, very, very little small talk in between the matches. You guys want to, you can light up Twitch chat, ask me some questions, predictions, read all my email that I accidentally showed on camera. But yeah, we'll just sit here with a little bit of replays. Question though is, how is your Monday going? Because my Monday was my first Monday back from work, well, to work, and after a very long period of vacation. So I'm a little tired. It was a little long day compared to my past couple of weeks of days. Okay, looks like both teams are ready to start the draft process. Let's get into this. A lot of people will say the game is won or lost at the drafts, which is true. I mean, we saw that in the last side. We saw that the away team had a very good synergizing draft with each other, while LPB sort of just picked what seemed strong individually. And then we saw that when you can draft a team that does a lot of damage and synergizes well, it does a lot better for you in the late game. But yeah. We'll just see how everything goes. When I get into this draft. Oh, and out of the name is important, which I will refer to as the name from now on, and Spice Girls or Pumpkin Spice out of the away team. The name goes in and bans Zagara. So again, we're on Dragonshire. Zagara's vision is always helpful, and that Maul, once heroics are hit, it sets up wombo combos and team plays almost just as well as Void Prison. Void Prison lasts a little bit longer, but Zagara overall a really powerful specialist, doing almost assassin levels of damage when spec'd correctly. However, on Dragonshire, you pretty much know where your opponents are both times, so that's an interesting pick. Speaking of that Void Prison, we see out of Pumpkin Spice Girls, their first band will be Zeratul. Zeratul, with all the up and downs of Dragonshire, Zeratul is a pretty strong hero because he's able to gank as those rotations are being made if anyone decides to travel alone. We see first two picks. You gotta love this meta nowadays. Name is picking up Li Ming as their first pick, leaving Rhaegar to Pumpkin Spice Girls. It's very interesting, even though the two wouldn't synergize on a team well together, just other than Ancestral for the Li Ming in case she got into trouble. Like, they don't directly synergize well with each other. However, they're so strong right now independently that we always seem to see them on opposing sides. If they're not banned outright in the first two ban cycles. Oh, we see a Greymane pickup from Pumpkin Spice Girls. We were talking about a lot of that rotation between the top and bottom and getting people out of position. Next to Zeratul, Greymane is one of those characters that can do that. His Worgen form does a crap ton of damage very quickly and is very able to finish off targets that are out of place, like Zeratul could do during that rotation up and bottom. So we go into round 2 of picks for the name is important. So with the Li Ming pick up, we're going to see hopefully a strong front line. We see Thrall being picked up. Once again, like we saw in that last match, Thrall is a very good person to hold shrines by himself if the opposing team only sends up one character, because he can very capably solo lane and hold his own against almost any other character in the game just due to his Frostwolf Resilience trait, allowing him that self-healing while he does damage. And we see a Tassadar pickup from the name. Now, it's going to be interesting. That leaves pretty much a solo warrior with another main support out of the name important. Now, Tassadar can solo support by himself, but it's very rarely done, and the name would have to play very much on point in order to support the solo support of Tassadar. We'll see as it goes on. Knowing this, though, picking up Tassadar so early, Puma Spice Girls with this ban is able to ban out what they think will be the complementing support to Tassadar. With Tassadar, because he is a solo, no, we see them banning out the Muradin. Okay. Once again, limiting their warrior choice because they still have to pick up a warrior. There may have been a little bit more synergy in banning out support, though. We'll see how it plays out once we get in. I'm just a commentator. I'm not a psychic. And see a lot of potential damage from the Lightning Shield and Greymane combo on the side of Pumpkin Spice Girls. What? See, I don't know. There's a lot of things that they could ban here to deny a special setup of Pumpkin Spice Girls, but I think it's too wild. Cho'Gall, that's interesting. Cho'Gall, Dragonshire is one of his stronger maps because him going up and down at the same time, while it does delay slightly, like defensively it doesn't work so well because Cho can only be in one place at a time, but offensively when you have Cho'Gall going up and down, it's double the rotational power, so two people have to rotate up against the Cho'Gall to help defend the shrine points. We see Pumpkin Spice Girls pick up Jaina and ETC. With the Muradin out, ETC is a very strong combination, especially with Rehgar, because ETC is able to get in deeper with that Lightning Shield on him, and able to set up the Mosh Pit for some outstanding Ring of Frost Blizzard combos out of Jaina. Now, as the name goes in to pick up their last set of picks, we still need a warrior, unless they try to solo warrior or solo frontline thrall, which is not advisable. So they're probably going to pick up a warrior. Their off hero is Tyrande, which once again she's able to spec more into the damage build, as Tassadar is also there to help support their team. So I expect a hybrid build out of both of them. Probably see Leeching Plasma, excuse me, out of Tassadar at level 7 with Tyrande. Probably, I don't know. Once again, in Dragonshire, you know pretty much where your opponent is a lot of the time, just due to the rotational sense of it. We may not see an Owl build. We may see more of a battle momentum DPS build out of her. So far, in Twitch chat, who do you think won the draft? As we see that the name gets out, Johanna. Very strong front line for Li Ming and Thrall. With the last pick out of Pumpkin Spice Girls, who will be... Well, they pretty much have a free reign at this point. Will we see something crazy? I mean, it is Dragonshire. Gazlow's turrets can do a lot of damage when they're pre-set up. And poke from a distance. No, it's going to be the global presence of Falstad that we see. Possibly, we may not get a mosh pit. Could we see a stage dive? Maybe. 2 global presences being able to cap both top and bottom at the same time? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, we're going to get into the game here. We're going to give 1 moment for both sides to lock in their choices. Now I want a nice clean game, y'all. You hear? Oh, we see the Master Greymane out of Cooler already. Let's see. This chat right now. We're giving a little extra time for Spice Girls to get ready here. My shirt won the draft. Hey, I'm celebrating Pokemon 20. Okay, right after this, I'm halfway through Pokemon Yellow. The only thing I don't like though is the green screen sort of freaks out with Squirtle's belly right here, so it sort of like twitches. But yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a and we start game 2 of the night here, casted by yours truly, Quiskel. We're going to Dragonshire. Beckaboo's going to be on Tyrande. Jason playing Tassadar. Argy's going to be on Thrall. Mookie Pants is going to be playing Johanna. Hyzen the Lade is going on Li Ming. On the red side, we have Oxymore being one of those Spice Girls. Jaina. Frustrated is going to be Rhaegar. Maybe he's going to frustrate the other team. The cow, ETC, is going to be Man-Made. Timmy is playing Falstad. And we have Greymane on being played by Cooler.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
See some Frostwolves out on those Orcan Brethren. And Mechatassadar is online on the side of the name is important.
Battle commencing in 10 seconds.
Okay, we see pretty standard. Let's take a look at level 1 talents real quick.
4, 3, 2, 1.
See the other teams witching each other. Warlock, Thrall, and Tassadar both haven't picked up a level 1 yet. They're holding it off. We have Astral Presence out of Li Ming, getting a little bit of sustain. We have Night Takes Pawn out of Johanna Priest, so I would pick Chain Lightning build and Conjurer's Pursuit out of Thrall and Tassadar, respectively. We have Deep Chill on Jaina, Paraslide, Seasoned Marksman, and the standard cocktail build out of Greymane. Oh, we see Li Ming going down, doing that siege damage really early on. But heavy rotation from Spice Girls up top. Good Lunar Flare out of Tyrande, but Pumpkin Spice Girls will secure first blood. Let me get you zoomed out a little bit more so we can see a little bit more of the action. Heavy rotating gank squad out Pumpkin Spice Girls. I mean, they're definitely bringing the spice. They have left bottom Soak, but they have the experience lead from taking down Thrall so early. And we see the rotation down to finish off that wave. Once again, it's not really that important if you miss a wave, as long as you get down by the time the minions spawn, or die rather, to get the experience. Okay, we see Falstad pressuring Johanna. She's not going to take it. again, Red's holding pretty well. Really good positioning, though, out of both teams so far. See magic missiles connecting down there between the mages. Oh, you see some... Oh, nope, and down's gonna come Greymane, maybe push the tide in favor of Red team. As long as they hold that down there, they're gonna be able to do some collateral structure damage. So I think of it as splash damage if you play any other games. Like, the fighting's gonna happen around the towers, there's gonna be some damage that goes to them regardless of if they're directly targeting or not. Magic missiles, again, connecting with Jaina. She's pretty low health. But we see that Falstad was able to get top. Is he Greymane gonna grab? Are we gonna have a very early Dragon Knight? I think we are. No, the Owl is able to deny, and Johanna up top is gonna make it. Is not gonna make it. Is Falstad gonna have to pull back? Oh, it looks like he is. Oh, yep. At the very last second, Falstad pulls away, trying to buy as much time on that shrine for Greymane to grab as possible. But he's able to get away. Meanwhile, on red side, Pumpkin Spice Girls, we see some camping. If it's going to be a stalemate, why don't they just grab some camps? Have some extra pushing force, a little extra distraction, a little extra siege damage. Falstad up top, grabbing. Greymane's in position, but he's not going to be able to grab against Thrall and Tassadar. Oh, missed a kill down on Tyrande down bot. Once again, Johanna had to go back, rotating from top. Just wasn't able to deal with the stuns and the roots and the slows of the combination down there. Okay, are we going to see a forceful rotation top to help grab? They know Tassadar's around there, but Thrall is able to grab top while Falstad's soaking experience. Oh, Greymane's setting up for the kill. Let's go back down bot. One moment. A slight technical error. Okay, as we catch back up here, not much has changed. I do apologize for that. Windows sometimes just likes to get out of stuff for some reason. Now we see the Lunar Flare missing from Tyrande, trying to zone her opponents a little bit. Jaina is going to have to go back for some mana, but ETC and Rhaegar they are both able to deny. Oh, there are 4 people down there now. Looks like Pumpkin Spice Girls is going to have to give up that bottom shrine. Meanwhile, oh, this Falstad is ballsy. He is continuing to push with that little bit of health, knowing his limits. Look at how close that Chain Lightning was. That's a very calculated play. Looks like Greymane is going to potentially go down to help. Tassadar's coming up to try to steal. Tassadar is a very good person to keep in this middle lane. He's very hard to kill. He's very good at slipping away out of things. But we see Greymane once again activating that trait, allowing him to attack way faster. We've picked up 7, so let's take a short look at talents really quick. Oh, we have Just Keep Rocking out of ETC. That is an unusual pick. It's his version of Relentless, but only activates while Guitar Solo is active. So you sort of have to pre-position it. We have Cleanse out of Rhaegar. And once again, that Falstad top was able to kill Thrall. Once again, we continue the full Gilnean cocktail build out of Greymane. A lot of damage coming out of Johanna, but once again, that Iron Skin popped a little bit early, but preventing the damage in its entirety. So, you know, we're gonna see a kill out of the Tassadar in here. Thrall's rotating top to try and steal that, but we see Falstad flying up there to prevent it. Oh, and we see Tins being picked up by Pumpkin Spice Girls first. We have Mighty Gust, Mosh Pit, Water Elemental, go for the throw, and Ancestral. Red's gonna push this advantage while they have it. Once again, this is probably going to be the first Dragon Knight of the game. As, oh, nope, blue side's just picking up there. We have Sundering, Shadowstalk, Disintegrate, Blessed Shield. And we're still waiting out Tassadar's pick. Is it going to be Archon? Is it going to be Force Wall? He's holding on to it. It's going to be Force Wall. Greymane is rather low. But here comes... Oh, nope. Tassadar is not even going to try to mess with it. Now is Red going to be able to hold this long enough for Jaina to grab? Oh, nope. Greymane on Cooler did grab. And Tassadar is sort of walking off his recall. We see, oh, a chase down by blue side. Oh, blue's trying to get a little bit of counter push in instead of defending against the Dragon Knight. They are holding the healer Rhaegar down there away from the push up top. And we see a slight duel between Falstad and Thrall once again. It looks like, no. This Falstad is finally going to go down. Can't stick around forever. And we see Greymane starting his retreat with the Dragon Knight. Is Disengage going to be up when he gets out? Red team's coming down, giving that support. Oh, good counter push. And then out goes the Dragon Knight as its timer comes up. Falstad's going to come and re-engage on mid. Yep, here he comes with that flight. Oh, we're going to see Mighty Gust up. Oh, Tassadar just falls due to damage. Doesn't even have to use the Mosh Pit on half of ETC. Overall, we have the front gates down and a half a fort down. Oh, and Pumpkin Spice Girls is getting a little aggressive, trying to take their opponent's siege camp. And they're able to zone enough to get it. Out comes the Mosh Pit on Johanna. They're able to secure that kill at the cost of Mosh Pit. But also they're able to secure that camp and buy a little pushing time. Enough to get about half that cannon's tower's damage down. Or health down, rather. Moving up, we see this rather playful engage between Thrall and Falstad continue. Down in bot, we have a 4-man push to get this fort down. But they're calling for the retreat. They know that blue's rotating down. Here comes Tassadar. Well, let's see. Some damage coming out from Tassadar. It's interesting though, with the Ghanaian cocktail build, a lot of damage coming out. Chain heal, healing it back up. Mosh is down. Out comes Water Elemental. So have Mighty Gust up and go for the throat. Here it comes. There's the Mighty Gust. Shadowstalk's used in response. Tassadar is getting focused. He's going to get eaten down. A lot of damage coming out on Johanna. She's going to go down as well. Thrall's not able to get down there in time to save his teammates. Turn red team going back for the disengage. Knowing that shrines are about to spawn, they're going to grab top and bot. And they're leaving Greymane and ETC and Rhaegar to defend mid. Will this be another... Will this be an easy Dragon Knight on the behalf of Pumpkin Spice Girls? It looks like it is. The Sentinel is not able to connect. Gleaming taking a lot of damage. It's going to Thrall having to forcefully rotate down from top. Falstad going back for health just now, rejoining the fight. That mid fort's going to go down. Red side has the 2-level advantage. Mosh Pit is out, connects with 3 different people. The damage is real. Tassadar is taking a lot of damage, but is able to not get out of it. Prescience is kicked. That Hot's not going to be enough to save Tyrande, even though Shadowstalk was used. Gleaming and Thrall still. Johanna coming back up. Thrall is down. That is my bad. See a very heavy push from Pumpkin Spice Girls. Their positioning though, with that Falstad's global presence, it's very hard to combat that in Dragonshire. Once again, Cooler knowing when to fall back with that Dragon Knight. Sorry for that shaky camera there. Oh, and then we see the use of flight. Knowing that it's a really short cooldown, he's using it to his full advantage, knowing that he's not going to have to use it again for a while. Meanwhile, both sides going back for camps. Johanna clearing the lane. Potentially could have got that camp with Jane or Gleaming. All the mages. And then Greymane is able to secure that camp. Well, we see Li Ming in a little bit forwarded position here. Blue side's going in for the blood, it looks like. So again, we see Li Ming not really connecting with many of those arcane orbs. False Head is revealed due to Tassadar's Oracle. He's not going to be able to make the gank there like he wants, but he's still going to be able to sit up there. Looks like he's going to go clear that top wave. Meanwhile, we have Pumpkin Spice Girls once again getting a little bit greedy, taking their opponent's camp. The owl was used, even though that they saw them there beforehand. Red's going for the sport. It's going to be a lot of heavy damage. ETC being the good warrior, staying out on the front lines, letting his mages and his hero take the damage. A lot of damage coming out on Tassadar. Pumpkin Spice Girls is doing a very good job at focusing down the name is important healers first. We see with Spice Girls pushing back so far, False Head's going to be able to fly top while everyone else just follows. And there goes the fly. Oh, there he goes. Able to secure that top tower. We're probably going to see someone... Oh, nope. They're going to grab the other camp to push while they fight for these shrines. Blue side is so pushed back right now, they're having to fight back waves from their mid. We see the epic dance of Bird and Orc once again. Oh, a good push for the slow and to get Thrall away from not making those auto attacks. But Falstad is in trouble up here. He's setting up for the updraft out. Johanna sees it coming, but meanwhile, guess what? He was able to hold it enough for Greymane to once again get the Dragon Knight. One for a Dragon Knight. It's late game. It's going to be a little bit while until he gets up, but it's worth the Dragon Knight. They're going to get the keep out of this and have those all-important catapults pushing mid. And once again, he knows that was his goal, is to get down that keep. That's all this Dragon Knight's going to try to do. So he's positioning so that once he can get that, he's going to go out and move on to better pastures. Going to rotate up, trying to do some structure damage to those top forts. Or just use the escape. Nope, he's going to try to get that top fort down. Meanwhile, red team's forced to push back. They don't have the damage of False Head right now. So... Oh, nope, but they are going for the re-engage and the root. A lot of damage out on Jaina. The Force Wall does come out, blocking off ETC. He's the tank. He's not going to die from that. He takes a lot more damage than just a single Disintegrate. False Head comes in. And the Dragon Knight expires. ETC's getting pre-positioned not to take the camp. They're going to try to get this fort while they're at it. Oh, ETC coming in. Oh, and the Mosh goes out getting two people. Prescience is having to be used on both the automatic Prescience and the other one. Johanna goes down from Go for the Throat. A lot of ultimates were used just then on both sides. Oh, and a short little fly there. With blue side having 20 seconds till people are up and only there are two heroes up, not able to do that much damage. I think this is probably going to be game for Pumpkin Spice Girls. Especially with 20s just picked up. False Head does go down, however, there's just so much damage, and that game goes to Pumpkin Spice Girls with a 20-17 lead.
Red team is victorious.
And I'm not able to get in to say good game to both of them before. take a final look at the stats and some damage before we completely sign off for the night. Again, we see that Falstad doing 49k damage, 7k more than the Li Ming, and substantially more than anyone else on that team of Pumpkin Spice Girls. Just the balls he had. I mean, granted, he was the only one that died, but he had so much knowledge of when to get in and when to get out. Granted, it failed him a couple times, 3 times to be precise, but it was interesting just watching him poke at that Thrall. That chain lightning where he had just like 1 health left was very interesting. But from the side of the name is important, we see Tyrande putting out 25k heals and Tassadar only being able to put out 15, as opposed to the opposing team's Rhaegar that put out 55. It's just there was a lot of focus from Pumpkin Spice Girls to take out Tyrande and Tassadar from the scene just instantly. Yeah. Well, that concludes the final night of Cherry League. We're gonna take a short break as the Cherry League leadership, meaning the one chairman, reconfigures and sets up some different skill leagues so we don't have some vastly different matches there in the front, as placement matches are going to happen. So anyone that's in the league right now is going to be placed based on their standings as of tonight, well, and Thursday night. So their final standings, you know, their wins and losses, they'll be put into either the Pro League if they've made it to the playoffs, which are going to be coming up shortly. You can check out more at cherryleague.com. And after that, depending on your wins and losses, they're going to be put into a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 type setting, sort of to mirror professional sports leagues. So we'll see closer matches of differing skill levels in each of those leagues. Casting wise, he hasn't really put out yet how he is going to cast those, if there's going to be dedicated casters to each division. We'll see that as it comes down, but we will be away for about a month as all that administrative stuff gets put up and some improvements to the back end of the website and the databases and stuff. But I want to thank you all for watching. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you can put it in the Twitch chat. You can follow me. I'm at Twitter at Quiskel. All the VODs from these shows are always put up on the Cherry League main website and also on my personal YouTube site, WindWaker55. If you enjoy my casting, please give me a like, give me a follow. Helps me out a lot. And I'm not getting money or anything from it. It just makes me feel good that people actually enjoy watching it and sort of gives me motivation to do this every week. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you guys for being awesome. Pokemon 20 for the win. Pokemon Sun and Moon, if you guys haven't read the news, it's going to be out. I'm probably going to get a capture card and do some live streaming of that as it comes out. But follow my YouTube channel. There's some other creative stuff on there. I also play cello and piano, so there's always some improvisations and stuff like that going up on there. Also do some digital artwork if you guys are interested in that. But overall, thanks once again for watching. Hope to see you guys next in a month. In the meanwhile, there's going to be some just Saturday night skirmishes that me and my WoW guild do that will be streamed. We do some wonky rules like all specialists or all healers versus all warriors, stuff like that. Be sure to check it out. If I go on stream, there's usually something interesting to watch. Hope you guys have a good Monday. Happy Leap Day. And this is Quiskel signing off.